Oh, hey there, YouTubers. Muskrat Jim here. I'm just adding a tarp here as a door to close this hoop shelter off so that I can sleep on the inside. But this video isn't about the door, it's about my sleep system and heating system. So come on inside and I'll show you around. Okay, so what I've got here is my homemade bivvy that I made from a 9x7 camo tarp. I folded it into thirds, stitched it up all along that one side there, and then I stitched up and taped halfway up this side so that it would leave this part open. Now you may have seen that bivvy sack a few years back. I made a video and I hung it up as a hammock. Anyway, I've got a couple of additional layers in there to keep me warm. Okay, so the main layer, that's basically to keep me dry on top. But anyway, the main layer would be this 0 degree Fahrenheit, 18 degrees or minus 18 degrees Celsius sleeping bag from Teton or whatever. I used this last year when I was winter camping. So that's like really thick and plush, and it's hooded, and it's got this baffle here for around your throat. So anyway, that's the main part. So now if we go underneath that into the other layer, I've got my new air mattress. It's only partially blown up right there now. And then underneath that, I've got an aluminum blanket that's duct taped to the bottom layer of the bivvy. So that should help keep me a little bit warmer and more comfortable than I was last winter. Now, let's take a look at what we've got to heat this shelter. It's a small propane heater. I just picked this up the other day. I haven't even turned it on yet, but I did read the instructions, and it's going to be a little bit challenging for me to light because I only have one hand, and it really takes two hands to light this thing. So anyway, let me put it together and I'll show you how I'm going to light it. Okay, this propane heater actually comes in with 3 pieces. So you've got your base to hold the propane tank, and it has little flip out feet to make it more stable. And of course you're supposed to set it up on a flat surface, so we'll set it up as flat as we can get it. So the base is the first piece. Now the next piece that goes on there would be the tank. And the tank didn't come with the heater. So I'm just going to take the protective cap off. It's important to keep these protective caps because they keep the threads clear of debris. And you have to be sure that you don't have any debris in your threads, otherwise you'll get a propane leak. Now the second piece that came with the heater is the heater itself, and it too has a protective cap where the threads go. So you'll have to take that off and put that in a safe place because you're going to need it later. Just going to drop those right in the box there. And anyway, this just threads on just like a stove would. Okay, so now the other piece that came with the heater is this handle. And what you do is you separate it at the back here, and it clips into these 2 holes right here. there's your handle. Now, during normal operation, you'd have the handle in the down position so that the heat of the heater wouldn't heat the handle. So here the handle is up, and there it's down. Okay, so this heater features a safety in it, so that if the flame were to happen to go out, the propane would shut itself off automatically. Now, it's that feature that makes this a little more difficult for me to light because it requires two hands. You've got to hold the switch in while you bring a match to the burner. So let me just demonstrate that for you. Okay, so this is the switch right here that you have to hold in while you light it. Now the way this knows that the flame's gone out is there's a thermocouple right there. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to zoom in. It's kind of dark in here right now, but anyway, I'm going to zoom in and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Maybe if I brought the light over on this side. Oh yeah, that's going to be better. Okay, so anyway, there's a thermocouple right there. Right down there. Yeah, that's it right there. Anyway, it senses the heat of the burner, which is this piece right here. And when the thermocouple is hot, it opens up this valve, allowing the propane to come up through the tubing. So even if you have this dial set to high, if the thermocouple gets cold, it'll turn off the propane. Okay, so let's light this thing for the first time. Okay, what you have to do in order to light it is you turn the propane on high. So that's all the way counterclockwise. There. Now, the next thing you do is you light a match and you hold it underneath the burner. So, because I have to hold the switch in with my right hand, I'll need to use my left hand to hold the match. So what I've got here is a rubber band around the index finger of this artificial hand, and I've got a match just tucked underneath the band there. Now of course I can't strike it like that, so I've got my trusty butane lighter here that I'm going to light the match, press the plunger in on this switch, so you can hear that when you press the plunger in, you can hear it. And then I'll take the match, the lit match, and I'll put it close to the bottom of the burner, and it should light. Now, in order for it to stay lit, that thermocouple has to become hot. So what you have to do is you have to hold this plunger in down here for about 30 seconds, and then you can release it and it should stay lit. Alright, so like that. Oh. Okay, so we'll just let that heat up a little bit more before I release the plunger. There. So now it's lit and it's on high. So I'm just going to turn that to low. Okay, there's medium. Whoops, I just turned it off almost. There, that's about low there, I guess. There's a little, when you're turning the knob, you can feel little clicks. So that's about low there. Now in the instructions it says that you shouldn't stand directly in front of this when you're lighting it, and you probably saw why, because it kind of explodes out this way towards you. So you really should do it from the side. Also, it advises you to have 3 feet of space between it and any other combustible materials. So that would be like a 6-foot diameter circle all around the heater. In here, I don't have that much space, so we're going to have to do with a little bit less. But the good thing is that because it's a smaller space, I won't have to put it on high in order to heat it. Now I can feel it getting significantly warmer in here, even though we've got the front door wide open. Now I had planned on spending the night in here this weekend, but it's supposed to get really cold, you know, like in -20 range. So I'm going to put that off until next week. Next week we're supposed to get a bit of a milder spell. They're even forecasting for some rain. So anyway, I'll be spending a night in here then for sure. So this is my setup. Sleeping system and heating system. So I'm looking forward to spending the night in here next week. So till next time, this is Muskrat Jim, signing out. For more Muskrat survival videos, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell to receive notifications of newly uploaded videos on this channel.